Well, hey everybody, Fire Mama here. Today's video, we're in the kitchen and we are going to make our own vinegars. Not store-bought, not with the mother, but vinegars that you can use for your hair. You can use it for cleaning. You can even use it to make tinctures out of. Today I am going to do a violet with some strawberry tops, rosemary, and mint. Now I'm not going to put these whole strawberries in here because these are really good, but I'm going to use just the tops part of it. And since the strawberries tops aren't going to bring much sugar to the party and you need sugar to make vinegar, I've got about a half a cup here, and of course filtered water, or you could use distilled water. I have been experimenting with them. This one here, I don't know how well you can see, but this is actually blackberry and blueberry, and it's about 3 months old, and I'm going to use that to make tinctures for pain relievers and such for the little ones, you know, because we don't want to give them alcohol, and this will be a good flavor for them. It tastes really good. So vinegars are really easy to do. The main thing that you want to make sure is that you've got plenty of sugar for it so it can feed. Fruit vinegars turn out the best because, you know, they've got their natural sugar in them, but you still have to give it a little bit of sugar, not by any means a half a cup, but a little bit. And after we get this all together, I'm going to set it on the counter, and it's going to sit here, and probably within the first few days you'll hear it to starting to bubble and work and fizz and everything, and that's when you know the sugar is feeding it and it's working. And so let's get started mixing this up. So I don't have very much rosemary because my rosemary plant is just starting to take off, so I just have a little bit, but that's fine. This will work. But I'm just going to break it a little bit before I put it in there. And I'll put that in there. And I have some tops that I've been saving from the strawberries I've been eating. My strawberries have went nuts this year, and it's just getting started. But I'm just going to cut just a little bit off of it and just drop the whole thing in there, green and all. And if you have some strawberries that maybe have some bad spots in it and you want to cut those out and use that and put it in there, go ahead. Or if you want to use your whole strawberries, go ahead. But just remember, the more strawberry you have, the less sugar you want to put in it, because your strawberries already have sugar in them. The natural strawberries. Sorry, natural sugar. I'm getting in a hurry. And I've never done this with the fruit and the herb, so this will be the first time. So you're going to learn with me and see how well it works. But I'm sure it'll turn out fantastic. I'm going to put a few more tops in there. And I think I'm going to put, a couple strawberries in there, because these are really nice strawberries. Okay, So then we're going to take some of our mint. And this is fresh mint out of the garden, which I have mint everywhere. And I might not put all of that in there, just because that's quite a lot. And rosemary is really good for your hair. And I'm not sure if mint's good for your hair, but mint just smells really, really good. So that's what we're going to use. I'm sure it is. Most herbs are good for everything about your body. And then the violets. And that'll just look really pretty in there too. And the violets will add some vitamins to our, and then our sugar. Okay, and then just add the distilled water. Now when you go doing these, you don't want to fill this clear up to the top, because it's going to start bubbling and infusing and feeding and working, and when you don't want it to come way over the top, and then because then you got a mess on your counter. So I'm just going to use this little wooden chopstick, which is really cool, that I found at one of the local stores. And I'm just going to mix that around. Make sure most of my sugar is all dissolved in there. Now every day while this is sitting on the counter, I'm going to push it down with the chopstick and make sure all that stays covered, because if you don't, then you're going to have mold start to grow on the stuff that's not underneath. So you want to make sure and keep that worked down. And probably within a week or so, it's going to start smelling like alcohol, which it might be a good tasting alcohol. We may have to try that. But then after that, once it gets going a little bit longer, then it'll start turning into its vinegar smell. And you'll know when you smell it. Now, you'll know something went wrong if you start getting a rotten, nasty, nasty smell. Dump it out. Start over. But like I said, this is the first time I've ever done a fruit and herb mixture, so we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to put a piece of cheesecloth over it and take my ring and just place it on there. I may have to, nope, that works. And then it'll just sit here on the counter like that. I don't know, see how pretty that is? Looks almost like a fancy salad. Anyway, so we'll check back with this in a week or so and see how it's doing. So we are about a week in to making our strawberry floral vinegar, and I know it looks kind of funky right now, but it is doing great. I did, a couple days into it, I did have to add a couple tablespoons more of sugar because it wasn't working or feeding like I wanted. But as you can see, I got a bubble line here, and it's working. And like I said, it looks pretty nasty. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it smells really good. And I'll tell you something, if y'all don't tell my mama, but right now at this stage we're making alcohol. Don't tell her. After that stage, then it'll stop working and feeding, and it'll start turning into vinegar, which is what we want. So I I just keep working the top down, stirring it around so the stuff that's on top doesn't start molding. You don't want it to mold. And just keep it worked like that. Now I'll let this go probably another 2 or 3 weeks, and then I will of course I check it every day, but in at least 3 weeks we should start being able to smell the vinegar smell. And when that happens, we'll strain it out and it'll be ready to use. And like I said, you can use the vinegars, you can use it to wash your hair, you can use it to clean with. Mostly what I'm going to use it for, because it gives it a kind of a sweeter taste, and I know that sounds funny with vinegar, but I will make tinctures with it, with the herbs to use for the littles, because I don't want to give them the alcohol medicine, the tinctures that I make with alcohol. I don't want to give that to them, but this gives it a sweeter taste for them to take. But I'm also going to experiment with using it as a hair wash. So when this gets done and I strain it off and everything, I will show you guys what the finished product looked like. I know you can't smell it, but like I said, this smells so good with the strawberry and the mint is what you can really smell. You don't smell the rosemary too much or the violets. It just kind of gives it a floral-y thing, but it's going to turn out great. And I hope you all try this of your own. So I hope you liked my video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the page and tell all your friends about it and share it with everybody. And we'll see you here next time, and I hope everybody has a blessed day. This is Fire Mama.